Day. What is a weekend day?
Well, one of my favorite shows that I've ever seen.
I'm a banana.
Hosted by the coolest guy, and he's never mean.
Yeah.
He's super creative, and he's always on screen. He's really funny. You know what I mean? It's
look.
the Nerdy Effect.
You have to sing it in real time.
Nerdy Effect,
one of our
favorite
favorite
shows.
shows.
It's the Nerdy Effect 3.0.
It's always my favorite show.
Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
banana
if you
banana.
like the nerdy toys and all the
It's
comic
delicious.
books, you should check out his show. Take a look. He's got a million toys that he will play with. He'll show them off to you so you can see it. It's the Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows. It's the Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows. Yeah, Jizzy
Wants to
is
know where the new
amazing
intro
guy.
is.
He is super quick-witted. He can think on the fly. And if you want a challenge, then you should stop by. He'll take random characters and make them fight. It's tight.
Hello, heroes.
Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows. It's the Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a big shout out. Nerdy Effect, it's what it's about. It is so nerdy in every single way. Nerdy Effect, I can watch him all day. Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows. It's the Nerdy Effect 3.0. Nerdy Effect, one of my favorite shows, and it's great.
What is up, Affected? Welcome to Monday, more specifically, Middle Finger Monday, because the week has started. For most of you overseas, it's almost over for you, and we're going to try to get you to your Tuesday, but for the rest of you, you know, the real people of the world, the Americans, I am Jizzy, wearing the tightest shirt possible, here to get you through your Monday afternoon. For some of you, Monday night. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yes, again, I know, I am still sick. Today actually marks the 2 weeks that I have been sick. I actually got sick on a Monday show midstream.
Sick on a Monday, died on a Tuesday.
I coughed midstream, and since then I have been sick. Maybe you can hear my voice, maybe you can't. I'm trying to mask it. So pretty much this show is going to be kind of like Fridays. We're still trying to get through the Amazing Spider-Man books. I think I've dug out most of them that have sort
he
of...
has not done the pineapple juice yet.
No, I haven't. That I've picked up throughout the collection before I started to do it. So there's going to be some of them that are out of order eventually. But that's pretty much what it is. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, generally we do the what day is it today. But it turns out today is actually International Turtle Day. So because it is International Turtle Day, I decided to rock the turtle shirt. And I might show some turtle figures, you know, just to kind of put that up there. Tight shirt. No, it really is. This is like I had a different shirt that I was going to wear. I already had it picked out in general. And then I'm like, well, it is Turtles Day, you know, so I might as well wear the turtle shirt. But I mean, this thing is like, I mean, basically it's if I chose to wear a moneymaker size shirt. You can tell if I said that. But I mean, it's so tight. It's like ridiculously tight. Like,
I think you need to give that shirt to me. I think you have outgrown it.
yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just got fat or whatever. Oh my God, Turtle's working here. That's crazy. I hope that TV gets. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Pineapple Juice. I have not done it. More comics is a win in my book. Yeah, I've dug out almost all of my Amazing Spider-Man comics. We're going to get through it. I would do Turtles comics, but I don't have a lot of them, at least enough to make a show
I'm
out
going to
of.
stop you right there, because Mon the Turtles. This dude does Mon the Turtles. But maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, this dude stops in the middle of the road to save a snapping turtle. And when I say snapping turtle, I mean take your leg off snapping turtle. And this thing was it more than a foot in diameter?
He was probably about this big.
Yeah, and he saved him from the middle of the freaking road so the turtle that would eat his foot off would not get hit by a truck. All while the turtle is hissing and trying to snap him, but he got it off the road, and it was happy story. Mon the Turtles. We do Mon the Turtles.
I do save the turtles. I break for turtles, and I totally
would save the turtles too, but I don't see them in the middle of the road like
it
you
is.
do.
It's a tiny. It's a tiny shirt. I really should not be wearing it, but it is a turtle shirt, so that's why I decided to put it on. Ginger needs to make some chicken noodle soup. Yes, you do. That one guy knows how to keep his women in control.
I made you ramen noodles.
That's not noodle soup. I think that's actually really worse for you. Mr. Dan Frode, how you doing?
Sir Dan Frode of Valheim. You have to greet him correctly.
I'm not.
People your way, so greet him
I'm
my
not
way.
British. Hang on. I do have British accent spray. We can try this. Let's see if this is going to work at all. Oh no, hello, Dan Frode. Now, but anyway, it is time. Yes, the show is not like it normally is, and not kind of like how I want it. But we still do have the ultra random brawls to get to, and tonight starts our three-way dance to the finals. One of these is definitely going to do it. What?
It's a Nikki.
Holy crap!
We have Nikki and Tar.
Wow, Nikki and Tar in here, kissing in a tree, scissoring, or something like that. But at the ultra random brawl, we are narrowed it down to the final 2 tonight, not including the wild card round. So one of these is going to go on to the finals. You guys get to decide. Will it be cheesecake? Will it be pizza? Will it be barbecue? You guys got to vote, and there will not be a tie, guaranteed. So tonight on the other random brawl, it will be the other final, and then I believe it's going to be next week. We're going to narrow down to the wild card round. So we're getting close to the end of the ultra random brawl, which only means we got to start a new brawl coming up very, very shortly. I haven't seen Nikki in forever either. She's like a Snapchat, and that's exclusive, and that's it. Thank you very much. It took me so long to finally get the lighting right in here. It was so dark and dingy before. I was like, you know what? I might as well get like a light to shine this way so you guys can see some stuff.
Toyed and nerds like your Gap t-shirt.
My Gap t-shirt?
Your Baby Gap t-shirt.
Oh, this is definitely Baby Gap. This is a tiny, tiny shirt, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be wearing it. But I do want to point out that I did get Ernest put in here. He's right there. So if I'm sitting right here, he's actually peeking over my shoulder the entire time with that crazy Ernest grin.
Oh, there he is.
Chat, let's make something. I don't know what that is.
They want to make it a tie. He's trying to...
No, it's not going to... What I'm telling you is it's not going to be a tie. I don't care how you slice it. It will not be a tie. I will not allow it. Yeah, if it comes down to it, I'll make her break the tie. Because
I honestly don't know who's...
Yeah, you guys will not get a chance to give me the tie. I will not let it happen. But anyway, Pizza for Turtles Day. Look at Fizz Kid.
I like this.
Oh, yeah. I'm not...
It's kind of good timing.
I am not going to do that. So, let me tell you guys about this. We're going to do it a little later. I'm going to do some comic books. But first, what did I do?
I finished my banana.
So, for those of you who listen to my banter, is a shirt for newborns. It's really small. Like, there's almost no sleeve going on here.
I think I just got a new shirt, dude.
But for those of you who listen to my words hammered down your throat for so long to go subscribe to Sunday Heat's channel, and you really should anyway. It's an awesome channel, Sunday Heat Collectibles. Three-way tie. You really should go subscribe to him on YouTube. But I know you listened to me for a very long time. And the thing is, the prize was one of his subscribers was going to get this Walgreens exclusive Black Suit Spider-Man. Well, it turns out that I drew a name that I didn't get any response to. I waited an absolute long time to get the response from one of his subscribers. Never did. Maybe he doesn't check his stuff. You know, I don't know what it was. So anyway, what it boils down to is I went back through the bowl. I took all his subscribers. He's Norwegian?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do a Norwegian accent. Is it Viking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's a Viking.
Okay, all right. Well, Tarfing's in a building. I know. I'm scared too. That's my Spider-Man. Anyway, so I didn't get a response. So what I did is I went back through the bowl of all his subscribers that I recognize the names of, the people that constantly come back in here, and even people that I see from time to time. Basically, if I've seen your name in here, you're a subscriber of Sunday Heat, you're back in the bowl. Don't go subscribing now thinking you're going to win tonight. That's not how it is, but you should subscribe anyway. So anyway, later tonight, we're actually going to do another drawing from the people who are actually in here, and somebody's actually going to win this tonight. It's guaranteed. It's going out to somebody I actually know who actually comes back in here. Their loss is our win. Yeah, everybody gets a second chance in this. Like I said, I gave him a long enough time to respond. He didn't respond, so I mean, I can't really do anything with it. But anyway, 666. No, that's not how it works. It's in the bowl. That's how it is. Pooh to not being able to watch you on PS Bumwaffle.
You may be able to go to him and your friend list and just find him where he's in the playroom and do it that way.
Well, why can't you watch it? Why can't you watch it?
They're saying it's not coming up on the broadcast.
That sounds about right for the way Sony's doing me anyway. Yeah, their losses are a win. There he is right there. It was a Sunday Heat collection. That's the guy you need to go subscribe to. Eyeballing for Jack Black tonight then. Anyway, so make sure you guys vote. And let's get on with it. So if you guys were here on Friday, you know how this is going to roll down. I'm trying to show my...
Down the hill?
Yes, it is. It's pretty much downhill from here. But I'm trying to show my Amazing Spider-Man comic book collection.
Well, DMK said the friends list thing didn't work, so I don't know.
I don't know what it is. It's fine. Go to YouTube app, PS4.
Oh, there we go. So go to YouTube on your PS4 instead of going to the Playroom.
Yeah, there you go. See, Vinny figured it out.
Yeah, Vinny's smart. Vinny gets the gold star tonight.
You not showing up on PS4? I hate the updates. That's generally how, Sony decides to do it, man.
Oh, no, the PlayStation crashed in Ustream right before we went on.
Yeah, that's true. My PlayStation did crash. Hope that was me. It probably was you. But anyway, so I started showing my Amazing Spider-Man collection, mainly the comic books, because it is the heart and soul of this collection. And it basically, number one, you guys get to see the comic book, cool covers and stuff like that. And number two, I get an archive of all the stuff that I have. But I like to comment. You're commenting now. I don't understand what the problem is with you. I don't get it, Fox. You're like reverse trolling like Superman. I don't get it. So we stopped at issue 40 of Volume 2 of Amazing Spider-Man. So there we go. Ah, there we go. Jack Black wants that game now.
Everybody's. It's not your PlayStation. It's PlayStation Network.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So there's issue number 41 of the Amazing Spider-Man. This is all Volume 2. Just awesome, awesome covers. I absolutely love these. And probably will continue to love Amazing Spider-Man, even though I still don't currently read it. So there's number 42. Comic book time! Just, awesome artwork in general. Like, there's only 2 colors on this cover. Maybe 3 if you want to throw a little bit of orange, but it's pretty much red and black, and it's still a stunning cover on my phone.
Foxy, get on your PlayStation. Go where you would go to Netflix and stuff. Can you go to YouTube through there? You should be able to, and you can comment through it. So
there's issue 43 of Amazing Spider-Man. Just badass classic artwork right here. Proof of purchase for insurance. You're pretty much right, that one guy. It is a way, in case something does happen, I do have an archive broadcast of all my stuff. So that way the insurance company can't be like, hey, there's no way you had Death of Mary Jane or whatever. So here we are. So there is issue 44. Just cool covers in general. Tiny Jizzy! It's not a tiny Jizzy, it's a tiny shirt. It's a big Jizzy in a tiny shirt.
Big Jizzy in a tiny shirt.
Shut your mouth, boy. But alright, so this is the fun part of Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 45 of Volume 2. Right? Cool cover. But at the top, it actually shows issue 486 in light print. So when they stopped doing Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, it wasn't even like issue 450 or something. It was just a random number they stopped and then started with Volume 2. Well, at some point, some dude caught the math and says, hey, we need to start planning for the 500th comic book of Amazing Spider-Man. And I'm like, well, you started Volume 2, so technically it's not really the same story. But anyway, they started doing it, building up to issue 500, and this is the first time they did it with this issue. Jack Black is a game where you play as Jack Black who owns a casino. Oh my God. It denied me.
Denied.
Issue number 46. I don't know what it is about Spider-Man. I don't know why I'm drawn to him, but he is my favorite hero. Issue number 47. That's just a badass artwork in general. What is the thing of insurance?
If he reaches around far enough,
Adam
that one
Sandler
guy.
movie on Netflix. What? Issue 48. And these are all bagged and board like they should. And don't worry, we're actually going to get some classic ones too. I didn't use all the classic ones I had. I actually have an entire pile sitting right here of some classic stuff from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
There you go.
Issue 49. It's on YouTube, not on my PS4. Well, all right. So from now on, from this point, from 19 minutes and 40 seconds in, let's not talk about where this thing's popping up on. It doesn't matter. You're here. Let's just have a conversation on whatever device you decided to do it on, and let's move on.
We're trying to help each other to be able to watch and comment.
They're watching. They're commenting. What do they need to be on the PS4 for?
There might be somebody watching who can't comment because other things aren't working. So this gives them an idea of how to get it to work.
These 33 people know what's going on.
You're gonna Hulk out with this anger, and you're gonna rip.
I'm gonna rip my shirt. Issue
like that one guy
50
thing.
of Volume 2. Just amazing cover. Like that's one of my favorite covers of this series.
Nikki's gonna flash.
Nikki's gonna flash. Well,
no, she's gonna stream and show her Flash collection.
No, Nikki is gonna be on Snapchat because that's all you ever see Nikki on, and I don't have Snapchat, so I can't even check it out. Basically, I see her like Instagram overflow of her Snapchat, and I'm like, come on, Miss Nikki.
We all miss Nikki.
Issue 51, with just Mary Jane being hot and sexy, and if I remember right, in this part of the series, this is when they were having a lot of problems. Like, Mary Jane was trying to do her own thing, and Peter was still trying to be a hero and getting his ass beat a lot and stuff, so there were a lot of problems going on. And now we're coming up to probably some of the most, this one is definitely one of the most sexy covers of all time in Spider-Man. They're not on PlayStation. Tech junkies, Google it, figure it out. There you go. Thank you, DMK. And this guy is a tech junkie.
What? Sometimes people just
Yes, you do need to do better. You don't do fist bump. You don't do duck face. If you do duck face, it's like on Saturday and like, whoop, backtracking to Thursday. You can't time travel, Nikki. I've tried it. I put the little electrode on my balls like they did in Napoleon Dynamite. Didn't work. I ended up in the same spot with fried nut testicles. So anyway, I started Daredevil tonight. Awesome.
Nut
testicles.
Is that the technical term?
That's because I have 4.
Ah.
So this is probably the most sexiest cover right there, man. Issue 52 of Amazing Spider-Man. If you're a horn dog or whatever, this is an issue to pick up just to have it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Just an amazing cover, and it actually just shows, the dividing of what's going on in their story arc. What's going on, Tanda's family? How are you guys doing? Issue 53. Just cool stuff. Some of my favorite comics ever. Yeah, like I said, Amazing Spider-Man is the reason this collection exists. It's because of this comic book collection, and pretty much these comics that I'm showing you right now. A lot of the original stuff I bought later just to it'd be cool to have it, but these individual comics right here are the reason that this collection exists. Just this badass crouching pose.
Tar wants all your comics.
You got 4 balls. I got 5. I want all your comics. Well, I tell you what, Tar. It's one of those things. Like right now, there's no way I'll ever part with any Amazing Spider-Man comics. Never will. But I do have other series of comics that I might give you. So if you stick around, probably gonna do these comics for at least in a couple more episodes. So if you stick around, you see something you like, I might do it. I have 8 balls, and you're the Black Gordon Ramsay. So here's issue 56 of Amazing Spider-Man, and it's actually 497. So right at this point, we're actually approaching the 500th issue of Amazing Spider-Man. That's my stripper pose. Issue 57 and 498.
Not all turtles are green.
What?
Not all turtles are green.
Deadpool wins. I don't know what that means.
I'm just saying. Well, Demon K pulled out that you got the green lights going, you got the green shirt going, and you got a green bar going at the bottom. But it's like, not all turtles are green.
What color is the turtle you want it to be?
I don't know, but like painted turtles, like they're like yellow and red and orange and stuff on the back of their things. And then tortoises are brown. They don't get any love.
I have a purple.
turtles aren't purple.
Turtles are purple right now.
So is it like me? It's Donatello?
Yes.
You did that on purpose?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
So here is issue 50.
Nikki
It's
wants comics too.
58 and $4.99. So this is the 499 issue of Amazing Spider-Man total. And the thing is, I don't think they include annuals and other spin-offs and annuals. So this is just the actual Amazing Spider-Man. This is $4.99. And spoiler alert, I don't have 500 in front of me. That was the end.
Donatello has the purple headscarf.
That was the end of this box right here. So we are slowly approaching filling up this Optimus Prime long box, and I can't be more excited.
How can you be afraid of tortoises? They're just friendly. You ever seen a Galapagos tortoise? Those things are awesome. They're huge.
A Galapagos?
Galapagos.
A Galapagos.
Galapagos. They live to be like 400 years old, and I don't think that's an exaggeration.
Most turtles are green. Thank you, Tarfinger.
Yeah.
See, it's always good to have somebody on my side. Because you know damn well Nikki's not going to take my
He's on your
side.
side because he wants your
My
shit.
mom is afraid of tortoises. Tortoises are huge. All right, guys. So this is issue number 500 of Amazing Spider-Man. And I actually remember
love your
buying
comments
these,
in
you
the
know,
comment
pretty
section,
much
Nikki.
as they came out. So this is I was in tune with all of these as they came out. So the double-sized 500th issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Mary Jane hanging on as all the villains throughout Spider-Man's
love
past
these.
is going on to attack him. I collect Superman comic books. Well, that sounds like you're bragging.
And Donatello is also my favorite turtle.
Am I turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Never.
Turtle. So what I'm going to do now is, since we get to 500, I'm going to go through this stack right here and sort of backtrack through all the classic ones that I have not shown on the show, or I have and they're just not in that box yet. I'm collecting all green turtles and painting them red. Problem solved. Oh my God,
Painting
Phoenix
the
17
turtles
just showed
red.
me
We're
a
painting
Spider-Man
the
picture.
turtles
It's a deflated balloon of him crouching pose. Who wants to blow up the balloon?
We're painting the turtles red.
I did have a blow-up Spider-Man, but I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. Minecraft Magazine, Raphael is the best. Tarfinger knows what's up.
Dizzy is Raphael. I'm Donatello. He's all brute force, and I'm over here being smart, telling him don't do that shit.
So here is Amazing Spider-Man. This is from V1, and this is issue 269. He said 69.
I see a green turtle and I want to paint it red.
Honestly, I don't know who the hell Fire Lord is. I have no idea. I haven't read this one because with the classic stuff, you need to get like pretty much 6 or 7 issues in a row to be able to understand what's going on. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 273, and this is where he's battling the Beyonder and Puma. Puma's one of those underrated villains. I always liked Puma, but he's very underrated and hardly ever used at all. So there is battling the Beyonder, and this is all old school stuff. This was done in the 80s. I know for a lot of people that's not old school, but it is in general in the overall grand scheme of things. So we'll save. I'll do these later. And that one, those go later. Ah, nope. That's later. All right, so here's something that doesn't really pertain to Amazing Spider-Man, but it does pertain to valuable comics. And this is Secret Wars number 8. And this is when the black suit first appeared. This is the first time you ever saw the symbiote, and it actually got on Peter Parker in the Secret Wars, and then he brought it back from the Secret Wars into the Amazing Spider-Man race, and then eventually it created Venom. So this is actually the first appearance. Mr. Moneymaker 254, we talked about you a little earlier, man. It turns out I'm actually wearing your size shirt today, man. So I wanted to wear a turtle shirt on National Turtle Day, and this tiny little shirt just popped on me, man, and I'm like, damn, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your shirt, Moneymaker. But what's going on, my man? How are you doing? So anyway, this is the first appearance of the black suit and one of those valuable comic books.
We want food. We beg for food.
Fatality's going to cook for me.
Yeah, Fatality needs to cook for everybody.
Trenzorg! Paige! Wesley?
Wesley. She is Phoenix.
Phoenix!
She's Phoenix.
Hi, it's Phoenix 17. Phoenix 17! That sounds so powerful because you're definitely more powerful than the first 16. Alright, so when you talk more about collectability and high collector values, this one is definitely one. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 238. And this is one of those ones. At the bottom right here, it says free 10 tattoos, Tattoos, tattoos. If this issue actually had the tattoos, which it doesn't, it actually quadruples the value of it. Sad, sad, sad. But these are one of those high value comic books. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. That better to call what? What'd she say? Paige?
Oh, just call her Phoenix.
Just call her Phoenix.
Yeah.
I will try to remember to call you Phoenix. I will try, but no guarantees. Let's see, none of
Trenzor
these.
says your package was finished today. He's hoping to get it out to you Thursday.
Did you take long strokes to get it finished? We talked about this one, but for some reason I took it out of the box. This is issue 301 of Amazing Spider-Man. I actually have 2 of them. What do you think about the Far Harbor DLC for the
I can't wait
Fallout
till we
4?
get to find a praying mantis.
What quadruplets the value? The actual tattoos, Tattooz, inside of the comic book. It was one of those things like when you got it as a kid, you would open up, oh, tattoos, and then stick them on your face or whatever. And for those to actually survive, actually really quadruples the value of the comic itself. That particular issue doesn't have it. You're welcome, buddy. Shame he's bitching about it. I don't know what he's talking about. Everything has...
Oh, there's no turtle.
Instead of away, it's back in the day. Yeah. It is way back in the day. Back in the 80s is way back in the day.
The 80s and the 90s, you had to spell it.
I got to say that my mom once rode a tortoise. She rode a tortoise?
How big was it? Explain.
The DLC for Far Harbor for Fallout 4 is actually really good. It's a huge expansion pack, and I've barely scratched the surface.
Which I'm guessing they're salamanders.
Yeah, we think they're salamanders.
They're salamanders, or they're really big
87?
tadpoles?
I think it's
I
87 when it came out. I'm not exactly sure offhand. I want to say 87. No, I'm not even ballpark close. 82. Sorry, 82 is when this came out.
No, Fizzy, you have to get the DLC because there are giant praying mantises in the new Far Harbor part. And I'm excited. I love praying mantises.
I'm an 84
I
baby.
adore them.
I figured. But yeah, it's a really good DLC. I really enjoy it. I'm just like, with everything in Fallout, I really take my time and just sort of like just slowly go through it. And they got more building materials for it, which is really cool. You can build like barns, and my favorite new addition is outhouses.
Because everybody needs an outhouse.
Tell me, my beautiful twin, I said hello, money. Dang, 82, damn. All right, so this is issue 271. This is more black costume, which is actually my current collecting. That's what I want. I want to get all of the black suit. I have the beginning of the black suit, which is Secret Wars. Then I have the end, which is technically issue 300 of the black suit. And that
back in it, Fizzy.
I know, that's what I'm working on. So that's 271. Followed closely by 280, more Silver Sable. Silver Sable showed up a lot in Spider-Man. And actually back here on the wall somewhere, it actually is the Silver Sable #1. He's been bitching about it. So, I don't know what he's even talking about.
They're just talking between themselves.
All right, so there's 280 of Amazing Spider-Man. Woo, nice. Phoenix.
Callum's collecting Minecraft magazines.
Okay, you said Minecraft magazines earlier, and I was like, I have no idea what that pertains to, but I'm missing a lot of comments, too, so I do apologize, man. I've got a good food open. What? You got a good food open?
I imagine he's eating dinner, and it's good.
What are you eating for dinner? And you better share. Send me some. You can build Fallout shelters on the PC, but it's coming out for PS soon.
Now, I wonder if the radiation leaks into the Fallout shelters.
Oh, you're talking about actual, like actual Fallout Vault-Tec stuff? Yeah, well, the thing is, with the PC mods, you can build whatever you want. You can make Paladin Dance look like Buzz Lightyear with the PC mods. So, I mean, there's so much. You can do whatever you want with PC, whereas, you know, I like the idea of being able to do what you want. Okay, that's awesome. Who's that in the background? That is Side Sheep, and you will show her respect. Right now, she is currently housing 3 Wanda figurines in her rectal cavity. But if somebody does need them, I will pull them out so that you can have the anal canal. Vaults, I mean. I knew what you meant. The comic book much better on the small screen. Okay. Sorry, it's not working on PlayStation. I can't help it. So what's your chase comic where you have to open with cotton gloves. All right, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that very soon. So this is issue 284, more of the black suit and more Hobgoblin. I love the Hobgoblin as a villain. He's actually one of my top favorites. He's in the top 3 of my favorite Spider-Man villains. All right, now this one, and I believe I've showed this on the show before, and if not...
Gamer Man, he's taking a little bit of break because he's still sick. Because he won't go to the doctor like his lovely wife tells him.
Come on, Game Man. Seriously, you were here on Friday. You understand how things work. Super Chick, what's going on? I got pork chops, corn on the cob, other sides tonight. Well, you better send me some too. So this is issue 285, and it has the Punisher on the front. I know there's a lot of Punisher fans out there. Regardless if you watch the Netflix series or not, it's still an amazing character.
Banana. It wasn't ripe enough.
Texas barbecue sauce on a ham sandwich. Oh my God, it sounds delicious. I'm watching you on 2 screens. Well, of course you are, because you're trying to be creeper, but there's only one creeper.
Crawfish ball.
So there is the Punisher just being a badass in Gang War 2. And then this one I showed on Instagram, but I don't think I've showed on the show. And this is issue 293 with Kraven, and this is Crawling Part 2. This is the part basically where Spider-Man has to kill Kraven because Kraven just won't stop. Not in this issue, but in this particular series right here. And this is also leading up to issue 300. Hobgoblin is the same for me. Massively forgotten about in today's world. He really is. He's actually truly one of my favorite villains.
Crawfish are so underrated. Like when
I know, right?
My mom would never let us eat them when I was growing up, but then I finally, a teenager, had my own will and went to other people's places where they would cook them, and oh my goodness, they're delicious. I finally stopped calling them. I grew up calling them crawdaddies. Because raised in the South, but crawfish.
Yeah, the Daredevil has 2 seasons, and Punisher, well, Punisher is in Daredevil season 2, but they're actually going to make a Punisher series out of it now because he's that good. 15 years, not a clue what that's talking about unless it's crawdaddies. So
no, that's where Mel hasn't had any crawfish.
In 15 years. Okay, I
felt
got
very bad. It's like I've had
sad, right?
that long.
So
sounds so good though.
On Friday, I showed this particular issue. Issue 364, and I told you somewhere in the collection I have another one, and this is actually the second 264 of the Shocker, because he actually is one of my favorite villains of all time. Is the Shocker?
The Shocker.
Yeah, the Shocker is one of my favorite villains of all time.
Heroes, you can always say hello.
So that one is I do have duplicates of that one.
Chicken fried rice and sweet tea.
So much later in the series, this is 339, and Dr. Octopus is just going at him, and I think that Dr. Octopus is one of those ones that just really should just stop. I like Dr. Octopus, but he's been around for so damn long, it just needs to go away.
So do a lot of Canadians, do they eat crawfish up there, or you're just like this weird person in the sea of Canadians? Like, no, crawfish, they're really good. Promise. Okay, fatalities. I've had somebody say that word to me before.
What, etouffee?
Etouffee? Is that right?
Yeah, it's etouffee.
Okay.
We've actually had it because I told you to get it at that place. I know we've had it. It was delicious. And I had to have it pronounced to me then, too.
But I know it's delicious. I know that word is good food.
Oh my God, this food talk is making me hungry. Yeah, I'm trying to talk over it, but for some reason it just keeps getting brought up.
Because I only had a banana for dinner.
I guess I'm going to have to start banning fatality, because all he does is make me hungry. Yeah, that's something that's going to have to happen soon. So issue 377 right there. That's a badass cover. I don't know whose hand that is, but that's really creepy. My Melly Mel. So here's one that I don't have a lot of these, and this is the annuals. There you go. This is Amazing Spider-Man annual. I don't remember which exact annual this is, but it's from 1997. The Fury of the Forgotten Foe. That just sounds like a Stan Lee title, even though Stan Lee wasn't even a part of Marvel at this point. But the Fury of the Forgotten Foe. It sounds so Stan Lee-ish.
Yeah, but we live far enough south that we should be able to pronounce that word without thinking about it.
So this one is one of those interesting books right here, because this one is bagged and board, but it's also bagged inside the bag and board.
Lobster.
And this is $3.90. And this stuff on the side, these little, it's backwards to me, but the red on either side, that's actually part of the cellophane that surrounds the comic. So this comic has actually never been read, this particular comic. And this is issue 390.
You know,
that's my strong hand.
It'd be really sad if I was allergic to shellfish, because I love shellfish.
I had pizza misspelled because it's not my vote. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, make sure you guys vote in the Ultra Random Ball. We are narrowing it down to the final two
Don't eat
tonight.
The comic books, Tar.
So cheesecake, pizza, or barbecue, typed in how you see it with them capital letters. That's how you got to do it tonight. Which is your favorite? Which one's going to move on? Make sure you tell me. So this is $3.93, still part of the previous one with the shrieking. And it's got Savage Showdown, and I don't know who the hell that person is. Inside the
Sounds like a
Spider-Man
wrestler.
mystery deepens. Sorry, deepens in the depends. I mean, I like this version and this art of Spider-Man, but overall, it's all right. This is the '90s, and this is when Spider-Man was good, but it wasn't really epic. It wasn't like it was in the 80s, and it wasn't like whenever Venom and Carnage were introduced. It was just sort of like them grasping at stuff right after the Clone Wars, the Clone Saga. It was just, I don't know. It's got weird pieces to it, and the only reason I picked it up because I like the cover, or I'm trying to get them in a certain order. Barbecue, nom 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 nom. That's not how you vote, but whatever. Cheesecake. Now, see, you capitalized all of them, Phoenix. I mean, you just... Cheesecake! And then you turn into fire or something.
I think that was meaningful.
So issue 371 with the Spider Slayer and, of course, all the Europeans' favorite Black Cat down there at the bottom.
Black cat.
Yeah. Who makes lobster tremador? Apparently you do.
I don't know, but I do love lobster. I've never had it fixed in a way that I did not like.
Issue 372, more Black Cat and more crazy spiders in a tomb. Invasion of the Spider Slayers, the 5 parts of 6. Yes, I'm on fire. We should probably see a doctor about that. Yes, I'm sick and I'm being stubborn about going to the doctor, but if something of you is on fire, you should probably see a doctor. Cheesecake means flame on. And I love how you didn't capitalize it. I absolutely love that. I see what you're doing. You think they would do another Spider-Man movie? Yes, they already are. It's actually called Homecoming, and it's when Spider-Man, the guy from Captain America Civil War, the kid who played Spider-Man, I don't know his name, he's actually having his own Marvel movie made by Marvel, and so, yeah, he's definitely having it. It's called Homecoming. Google it. You'll learn something.
Aren't you a technical genius, Foxy?
385. A lot of creepy people. Looks kind of like Spawn hanging back there, but it's definitely not. I don't know who that guy is. Spidey meets new pals. Not a clue who that is. But it's a cool cover in general. Like, I like that long neck Spidey drawn. I actually like that art on it. No, I'm just happy to see and hear you, nerdy. Well, thank you very much. Here's another annual right here. 64 pages of the Amazing Spider-Man annual. It's got Black Panther and Iron Man on it. Black Panther... overall, throughout comics, Black Panther is not a favorite of mine. I don't hate him, and I don't like him. He's kind of in between. I can give it to you. What's going on? I can give or take Black Panther. That being said, Black Panther was, I believe he was my favorite character in Civil War, in the Captain America Civil War. Yes, I know that I sort of dogged the movie, and it pretty much I don't like it because of the ending, but Black Panther, the guy who plays Black Panther, absolutely nailed it. I loved everything about him. I wanted the whole movie to be about him. And Black Panther's actually getting his own movie, and from what I've heard, and this is all just rumors at this point.
Fatality is Black Panther.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. Is that Civil War, Captain America Civil War, the ending is actually going to tie back into Black Panther #1. Whether Black Panther get a sequel or not, I don't know. But he absolutely stole the freaking show in that movie, and I want nothing more than Black Panther, to the point to where I actually bought more Black Panther comics just to complete it. Black Panther was hella tight. He really was.
He's a pretty man.
So yeah, he was. It was the character. The character was awesome. The actor was perfect. The suit was amazing, and everything he did in it was perfect. It really was. I missed Lala at the end of the show. Heroes, you do not get to depict how this show is debated. So yeah, there's Black Panther.
I do it just for him.
You still do it.
I know. But I was sick too, and I didn't have the voice to do it. So now I pretty much got my voice back.
Okay. So
Sir, do not.
I talked about the Gathering of 5, which is actually what ended Volume 1 of Amazing Spider-Man on Friday, and I didn't have the final comic book for it. I don't know where it was, but I dug it out of some of the long boxes before. There it is. The Sensational Spider-Man, The Gathering of 5. And this is the final part. This is what destroyed the original Spider-Man from Volume 1 is what happened in The Gathering of 5. And here it is right there. This is part 1, and this is the part I was missing. Mainly because it's the Sensational Spider-Man. And I was not a sensational collector. I am an amazing collector. Yeah, we'll go with that. Hashtag Black Panther. All right, so let me show you. These are, this is what DMNK actually talked about earlier, the stuff that you don't want to touch without, you know, white gloves and stuff. And granted, I have...
Missy Mrs. Do your first nerd circle and gibberish.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I've actually touched and read most of these without it. Without white gloves. We're going to start with this one. This one is actually just a cool cover. This is not one of the white gloves or the high collectibles.
Andy Dino wants to know how you think of Baby Spider-Man.
Baby
And Baby Aunt May.
Yeah, hang on. So this is issue 388, and this is when you actually find out what happened to Peter Parker's parents. Wow, that's a hard thing to say. Peter Parker's parents. And so this is basically you find out that they were spies for Hydra or some crazy crap like that, and I've already said my piece on this, which is absolutely stupid. I don't know why they just didn't let Peter Parker's parents die and just be done with it. They had to like, oh, well, no, they were spies and they were trying to save Peter. Ah, shut up. Anyway, this is the actual issue that they did it in. I don't mind Vulture being a villain in Spider-Man Homecoming, but I prefer Hobgoblin. I don't think it'll be Hobgoblin. Have you any Jack-O-Lantern? I think I have one issue with Jack-O-Lantern in it. Alright, so my review on Spider-Man from Captain America Civil War, since we're talking about Spider-Man. I love the kid, because in the comics, Peter Parker was 16 when he got bit. Tobey Maguire was playing a little bit older than 16 in the Tobey Maguire movies. Andrew Garfield looked like he was damn near 22 when he got bit, even though he's in high school. This kid looks 16. He nails the Spider-Man, the quick wit, the bumbling, and still being badass in general. When, no spoilers, it's in the trailer, when he catches Winter Soldier's hand and goes, wow, you got a metal arm! Like, you're like, holy crap, the dude is super strong. You can tell he stopped Winter Soldier in his tracks. Badass. It shows the spider strength right off. It shows the quick wit.
But it shows that he's a kid.
And it shows that he's a kid and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's still learning. I absolutely love him. Do I like the actor himself? He's alright, but I think he will definitely grow on me, and I will love him in Spider-Man Homecoming. That being said, Aunt May... come on! Aunt May's supposed to be an old, fragile lady. That's how it's supposed to be.
Marissa Tomei's a beautiful woman, but she's too young.
Clance! What's going on, man? Pac-Man, what's going on, man? Why are you crying, P? What's up, man? Sometimes simple story is better story, just like Batman. Well, I haven't seen Batman vs. Superman. Not sure what you're talking about on that point.
Yeah, everybody's having that issue.
Can't access your stream tonight. Now, everybody's having everybody's having problems tonight, mainly because Sony just is like, well, you know, I mean, you got to go watch Ustream, you know, so we can pump ads down your throat. I was trying to watch Singin' Gamer, and every 3.5 minutes, I got the same damn ad for some dude that got a second chance at life. Good for that guy, but come on, man, that has nothing to do with gaming. Seriously, nobody's going to be like, well, I'm feeling heart palpitations. Thank you, ad, during my Ustream viewing. Like, seriously.
Maybe they're trying to soften the trolls.
With the crying, yeah. What was right above with the crying? Still haven't seen
Bucky
Civil
is my
War.
man. It's Foxy.
Oh, yeah. Because of Aunt May. Definitely, Tarfinger, do not miss Civil War based solely on Aunt May.
She's barely in the movie. Like, she's got, like, 4 lines.
She's in it very briefly, and maybe you'll grow to like... I don't know. Maybe I'll grow to like it.
I mean, come on. She's Marissa Tomei. She's not...
Blast off! My take on Civil War is it was awesome overall. The action was incredible. The story was okay. The ending was utter catastrophe because it didn't end. It didn't have an ending. I honestly feel like I'm still sitting in the damn theater waiting for the credits to roll, even though I've seen the credits. Spider-Man was awesome. Black Panther, Ant-Man, Hawkeye coming in with Ant-Man. Amazing stuff happened in it. Awesome, cool things happened. It's a great progression in the Marvel storyline. However, it didn't end. That's my main problem with it. Do not miss that movie based solely on my opinion not having an ending and Aunt May. I think it's a stupid, shitty decision. I don't like it. That being said, it's okay. Aunt May doesn't ruin the movie at all, mainly because Tony Stark's in it. Blast off again. There you go.
And Tony Stark is hitting on Marissa.
I want your robot. What robot? How many? What are you talking about? Which robot? Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show these last ones, then we're going to tally up the Ultra Random Brawl. I'll show one more, and then we'll tally it up. We'll do that. Alright, so this one is a random Amazing Spider-Man one. I'm not even sure why I picked it up, mainly because it's ridiculous. It's not in the best condition. It's maybe a 4, if that. The cover's got a tiny little tear on it. But this is something you could only get through a mail-away, through a toothpaste mail-away. And this is the Amazing Spider-Man free with purchase of AIM. So basically you had to buy a stick of toothpaste of AIM. I believe it's AIM. It was toothpaste. And I think you had to buy 2 or 3 of them, and then you could mail away, back in the day of mail-aways, and actually get this comic. So the only way to get it was to do that. So this is one of those, turn around, haha, go Tam. So this is one of those random comics that just, I don't think it has a lot of value. It's just random and cool, and that's what I like.
Gosh, what's your little robot on the screen?
Oh, you're talking about this robot? Oh, that's not my robot. That's just the general Playroom robot. Michael Keaton, DC's Batman and Marvel movies, and J.K. Simmons, Marvel's Jonah Jameson and DC movie. Hang on. I think I had a stroke reading that.
He wants Michael Keaton's Batman and then J.K. Simmons' Jonah Jameson in the same movie together. That's what he wants.
You want Batman and J. Jonah Jameson, or
But
you want
those
the
two
actors?
Specific actors. Those two.
Oh my God, AIM toothpaste. Yeah, I thought it was
yes,
toothpaste.
Robert Downey Jr. Like, you couldn't pick a better Iron Man. Seriously.
Still exists.
He is Iron Man.
I don't know if it still exists or not. I mailed away for Rancor Keeper Beckett. Wow. I don't think you're going to get it. I don't think you're going to get it. I still want it. Well, all you got to do is just buy the PlayStation camera, and then you can just download the app on your phone, and then there it pops up. So, all right, it is time to wrap up the Ultra Random Brawl and find out who is going to be moving on. And holy crap, there are no ties. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. So let's find out. You guys get to choose cheesecake, pizza, barbecue. One of them is moving on to the finals. Who's it gonna be, baby? Batteries not included. Oh, look at it. Look at it. While I write this down, you look at it.
Actually.
13, 7, and 4. Cheesecake gets the least amount of votes. Barbecue comes in second place with 7, and pizza dominates. Pizza goes on to the finals. Yeah, the finals. Now, granted, this week we're not going to hit the finals. We still got the wild card round, which is 3 rounds to go. So it's going to be a little bit before we get to the finals. So let's find out who is going to be taking on pizza once the wild card round is over with. Tonight, you got a vagina, a dollar, and a thong. All those go together. You guys did this. You guys did this. I didn't do this. You guys chose all these. I didn't choose them. You guys made them here. I didn't make the votes. You guys made this happen. Some super strippers going on right here. Fatality, stop. I agree. Robert Downey Jr. He is Iron Man. He is the perfect Iron Man. He really is. All right. So before we get back into the best part of the comic collection, I love looking at all those mail-away comics. That's the only one I think I have of the mail-aways. Vagina for the win. Pizza. So, my friend Sunday Heat Collectibles on YouTube started the YouTube channel. I forced it down your throat for probably about a month to go subscribe to him. You guys did. And I did a drawing right before I went on vacation. A drawing for this particular Spider-Man pop right here, the Walgreens exclusive glow in the dark. On that show, I drew a name. It wasn't a name I recognized. It was just a subscriber to him. I messaged him, didn't get a response back. Don't know why.
The right kind of barbecue, Andy Dino. I'm more of a, I want my sweet barbecue. I'm not much on the vinegar barbecue.
All right, I'm not either.
Yeah.
We've already had that discussion.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're gonna do now is I went through all his subscribers at the time, not currently, but at the time. So basically, we're rewinding some time. You have mail again. I do. J. Jonah Jameson is going to be playing Commissioner Gordon. That's right. I forgot about that. He is. So anyway, what I did is I went through, I picked out all the names that I know I've seen in my show at least once. It doesn't matter if you popped in, said hey or whatever, went and subscribed. If I've seen your name at least once, recognize your name. I put your name back in the bowl. So now we got a brand new bowl with a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you guys have subscribed, you guys got a second chance. We're going to find out who is going to win it tonight. Might be one of you in here. And if not, at least I know you so I can message you on a proper platform.
I'd like to see that, Char.
My hand is empty, and what we're going to do is I'm going to reach in the bowl, and I'm going to pull out one. Fatality is hilarious. Oh, dropped it.
What do you think about new Casey Jones? I'm all for the new Casey Jones. I love me some Who got it?
Well, hang on. Yeah, that was it. Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right. Clancy! Oh, and just so you guys know, so it's all, I mean, everything is legit. There's Freddy's Ready, and there's Claire Bear. There's a few others in here. They're all in here. There's Super Chick, so it was real. So Clancy, man, there you go. This pop is coming to you, my friend, right there. So that is Clancy's. Ruda can't have it. I don't care what he says. So this pop's coming to you, man. Drew it fair and square. Wait, we had a subscribe. You're actually in there. I have your name in the bowl. So on his head, right? I don't know what she's talking about.
The thong, if it wins.
Oh, yeah. Well, somebody actually said in the show, I don't remember who, maybe it was Yoda, but it said if they sent me a thong, I'd actually wear it during the shows. I win again, you do. So that one's going out to you, and hopefully it reaches you well. So, good. Now I don't have to worry about it. Somebody actually views the show and actually knows what's going on, actually
not
wins.
Not only views the show, but is one of the very first viewers.
Yeah, it is actually.
Of that show.
I think other than Modder, I mean, I don't.
He's up there.
I don't have. Modder says, but I don't have actual proof that Modder was there. But I know that Modder was one of the very first viewers of this show. Mm-hmm. The only person that I actually know for a fact was a guy named Grouse. He was in the first one. I do too. He was the first one in my show that I remember. Cool. But Clancy and Ruda were actually in my second show. They have proof. They trolled me. It was hilarious. They still try. It's funny. You should do a gimme vote game. What does that say? Gimme?
Do an anime voting game.
Anime voting game. Well, honestly, there's not a lot of anime fans in the show in order to do it. So that's the problem with it. But, Phoenix, if you come back in a couple weeks when we're done with this Ultra Random Brawl, we're going to start a new brawl from then. And then you get to put in your own. If you're here, I will give you your own vote for whatever we're going on. You can pick an anime character if you want.
Fizzy says that he'll send you his used thong. He's not going to wear it anymore.
All right. That might be a tight brawl. Yes, it was me. Yeah, it had to be edible. I thought it was you. All right, so let's get into the old comics that I have. And this is the King Size Annual number 11. Annual number 11 from 1977. So the same year that Star Wars was released. And this is from 1977. This is annual number 11. So this is the 11th year that Spider-Man was in circulation. So that shows you how old that is. Spawn of the Spider. It's in pretty good condition. It's got a little wear to it, but overall it's in pretty good condition for being as old as it is. Damn, so no cheesecake or pop. Oh, I'm sorry, Super Chick. It wasn't personal. I hope you realize that. Edible thong, fruit roll up in a thong.
Random drawing
Yum.
is random.
Do what?
Random drawing is random.
Yeah, you're right. So these are crazy. These are technically Amazing Spider-Man, but they're not in a sequence. I've showed these before. I don't have an actual, like, I need to get some of the wider, like, Silver Age boards and backs for these. But this is basically a comic book and a record. So this is Amazing Spider-Man, whatever, with a comic and a record. So basically what you do is you throw on the old record while you read along.
Dings to make you change the page?
I'm not sure. I think you just follow along. I think you follow along with the story that's going on here. And it basically reads it out to you. I have a record player. It's actually what my Michael Jackson is sitting in front of, but it's not hooked up. Otherwise, I would throw it on there and play it. But yeah, these are just random things that I just really, really like. I think it's a cool memento from the past. And yeah, so there you go. Spider-Man comic book and a record, and I'm sure it still works. I was only 2 when that came out. And this is also another one. This is another... Dang. Amazing Spider-Man and a record with the Man-Wolf. Not Wolfman, Man-Wolf. And it turns out, spoiler alert, Man-Wolf is actually J. Jonah Jameson's son. He picked it up, the species, or whatever the Man-Wolf disease is when he went to space, because he was so, what do you call it?
Supposed to be the one that brought back the symbiote, though, too?
In the cartoon version, yes. But in the comic books, which is what is lore, no.
Ah.
So there's the 45 for it, for the Spider-Man.
The DMK says you should
Wolfman.
hook up your record player on Friday.
No, that's not going to happen.
Aww.
There's too much stuff in front of it. There's too much stuff. So anyway, I just like these. I think they're cool, and not a lot of people have them. But it's classic artwork, classic Spider-Man, and it comes with a record. You really can't beat it.
I appreciate you, Fizzy.
Especially cool things. I need to feel appreciated, Fox. Why does he need to feel appreciated? What's going on?
He wants to give his thong to somebody.
And play PYT in reverse. Oh, that's different. That's different.
I won't ruin that record playing in reverse.
No, that's not going to happen. So this is Amazing Spider-Man issue 140. And this is an old school Spider-Man. And this one is actually in very, very good condition. I would actually rate this probably an 8 at least in condition for Amazing Spider-Man number 140. It is awesome. It is old. It's great artwork on the front. And I think that is, the Grizzly is the villain in there. They were just grabbing at stuff at that point, but it's awesome. As about wrestling, so I left. Oops. What's wrestling? What's that one?
Last time I saw you, it was Fish Chick, and he thought you were talking about wrestling, so he didn't stay.
Who was that?
Oh, that one guy.
That one guy. Oh, well, I'm sorry, that one guy. We'll try to pertain to you from now on and not just talk about, just random stuff in general. So now let's talk about back hooks and beard hair. Kids these days doesn't West a record player?
They don't know what a record player is.
I know what you meant, but it hurt my brain. You're talking like Fizz Kid. So here's another old school, number 151. This is one of the classic covers. This is one of those crazy covers that is just transcended throughout pretty much comic book in general. Spider-Man beat down in the bottom, the ceiling, not the ceiling, but like the road is clashing in on him, crushing him down, and that's where he's at. This is one of those, I guarantee, even if you're not a Spider-Man collector, you've seen this type of cover before. And this is Amazing Spider-Man number 151. Alright, so I've got 2 left, and I've shown these on the show before, but these are key issues, and they're not in the best of shape, but regardless of the condition of these comics, yeah, the condition matters for value, but they will never decrease in value because they are key issues. Oil prints in the pages may drop it to 6. Oil prints. No, it's not going to happen because I haven't even read that particular issue. Stan Lee and John Romita were the dream team for me. I agree with you. I really do. And I actually love John Romita Jr. I really love his artwork. He's still a fantastic artist now. I talk Cornish.
Learn it directly. What does that mean?
Not a clue. So we'll do this one. This is probably the oldest book in my collection, and this is Amazing Spider-Man number 42. Remember, Spider-Man, I believe, debuted in 1964. I believe it, 1964. So this is issue number 42 right there. And it is not in the best of condition, but it's not in the worst of condition. I've actually opened it up and actually looked through it a couple times. It's actually really, really cool. But I know you're looking at the cover, not saying much, but this is actually the very first appearance of Mary Jane. That before anything else, like you saw like her wrist or like her heel or something in other comics, but this actually shows her face for the very first time. This at the end actually has the you just hit the jackpot tiger. So that's one of those classic ones. Even from the movies, they use that particular thing. They used it in the Spider-Man TV show, the cartoon series, but this is actually where it stemmed from, was Amazing Spider-Man number 42, and this is it. And this is in one of the, you can tell it's not in the bag and board standard. It's actually in this plastic seal. Oh, go on then, Mon the Night. Fine, send me the thongs. Fine, send it to me. No, I want them. Send them to me now. And then overall, I'm not sure. I don't think, because of condition for this book, I don't think it's more valuable than issue 300. I don't think it is, but this is definitely the key issue. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 122, and this is actually the death of Gwen Stacy. When I talk about things that happen in comic books that should happen in comic books, Gwen Stacy died. When she died, that was it. She never came back. They told alternate stories of what happened or what happened during other parts before this, but they've never brought her back. Gwen Stacy never returned. She actually died in this issue and has never returned. Much like Uncle Ben dying in issue 1, he has never returned. They've had spin-offs where what if Uncle Ben had lived and Aunt May had died, what had happened, they did the what ifs and stuff, but those characters never returned. And that's my main problem with Captain America Civil War, the movie, is because it didn't end. In the Civil War comic book, which is what they kind of based it around, in a sense, is at the comic book, Captain America died. That was the end of the book. That was the end of the series, and that actually cemented it. And you're like, holy crap. His friend, Tony Stark's friend that he'd been an Avenger with for a long time, died. Captain America died. And then what did they do? 2 months later, Captain America's an alternate dimension. He's an alternate dimension. It wasn't really him. It was a clone. Oh, calm the hell on. It kills it. It makes everything that happened in that comic book series pointless. So, if Gwen Stacy had died here, and then 100 issues later, Gwen Stacy's back, it was a clone, would it have made of an impact? Would that make this issue more valuable? No, it wouldn't. It makes it crap when they do that kind of stuff. So anyway, there's my tiny little rant. So there you go. In 1964, I wasn't even a glimmer in my father's eye. I know, right? So anyway, this is issue 122, The Death of Gwen Stacy. It's in okay condition. It's probably maybe a 4, if that, in condition-wise, but it's still a key issue in the series, and it's one of those things I just love to have. Amphibian Scouser. Oh, there we go. There's some good words going on.
Bye, Callum.
I think the new Gacy Jones
He actually likes Dylan.
was a better Green Arrow. My problem with Casey Jones in the Turtles movie is they didn't give him long hair. And I know their interpretation of Casey Jones could be anything they want.
Don't give April red hair.
Right. But basically, it looks like Green Arrow in Turtles world because they didn't change. Like his haircut is.
They could have given a faux hawk.
Yeah, just a little bit of a shade, something up here, a little bit dangly hair, a bowl cut, something. No, it looks like Green Arrow's hanging out with the Turtles. It really does. And then he's got these mad hockey skills, which could be incorporated for Green Arrow for parkour. You know what I'm talking about. Toy Dad Nerds, when you plan on taking some DayQuil so we can watch. That was actually a thing that Vinny brought up to me. He says, you know what you should do? You should actually do shots of NyQuil every 30 minutes for the show. And I thought about doing it, but
I poo-pooed that idea.
But she poo-pooed the idea because she didn't want to do the it's drugs and alcohol.
Well,
and I'm like,
why you have to be 18 to buy NyQuil now is because kids abuse the crap. Don't teach them to do it.
well, no, the thing about Crossbones being in Civil War, they weren't following the comic book per se. I just wish they wouldn't have called it Civil War, and a lot of people thought it was going to be based on the comic book. They took parts of what happened from the comic book and incorporated it into it, but you can't say, because Crossbones is in it, it's not going to be anywhere close. I liked Crossbones in it because it's Captain America's story. Crossbones is a Captain America villain. I know he's been in other things, but he's basically solely cemented with Captain America. Overall, it was a good movie. I hated the ending. I still hate the ending. I still stream Clans only on YouTube, which is what you're supposed to do. Nobody should ever stream on Ustream ever. Listen to me, Sony. Ban that stupid site. A hot toddy will knock a cold out, Jizzy. No, the thing is, I'm like, why can't I just do NyQuil? I think it'd be hilarious as the show progresses. I'm like, yeah, what's never. How about now? But she's like, that promotes alcoholism, or you're gonna tell children to drink NyQuil, and I'm like, did you not see my damn St. Patrick's Day stream?
Alcohol is alcohol. NyQuil is not meant to mess you up. It's meant to make you feel better when you're sick.
Hey, Jizzy, do you like Pokemon? No, I'm not going to pander to the crowd and say that I do. I don't. I'm not a Pokemon fan. I was too old when Pokemon launched.
I have a little Charizard that came out of a Pop-Tart box.
Yeah, I think there technically is a Pokemon back in here somewhere, but overall, I do not care for Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z. I'm not an anime fan in general. It takes a lot for me to like anything anime, and that's just a personal preference, and that's nothing against it. I don't hate Pokemon. I don't hate Digimon or any of that stuff. It's just not my taste.
And I'd probably be a better actor than Megan Fox too, just because she kind of sucks. But that's saying a lot though, because I'm a terrible actress.
What did Game Man say about Fantastic Four? I missed it.
He said too bad they get Fantastic Four and X-Men because Fox is not as nice as Sony.
Yeah, I know. Well, of course they see Marvel. The problem is that Marvel went through a bankruptcy problem in the late '90s, early 2000s.
The congestion in it messes with your blood. You're correct, sir.
And why they had to sell the rights to the X-Men franchise, the Spider-Man franchise, the Fantastic Four, is because Marvel needed to stay afloat up until Disney
Chicken
bought
and
it.
waffles.
But when they did, they sold the rights to Fox and Sony so they can make the movies. That they said that they still own the rights to them, so they can make the movies they want, and they're not going to sell them back because it's money, man. It's money, dude. I mean, it doesn't matter. They made Wolverine Origins. Holy crap! They made Wolverine 2. Oh my God! They made the third X-Men movie. You know what? They're still making them. I liked First Class and I really like Future Past, so they're starting to fix it. But they made those movies because they make money, because people wanted to see it, and it's like the new Ghostbusters film. I think it's going to be complete horseshit. I really do. I think it's going to be a big steaming pile of horseshit. That's my preference. I really believe it. But the thing is, people are still going to go see it. They're going to go see it because it's got Ghostbusters stamped on it. They're going to go see the Fantastic Four movie because it's got Marvel stamped on it, because they grew up with those things. So they're definitely going to be shelling out their money. Movie companies don't give a damn about what the content actually is. They see dollar signs. You would like Sword Art Online. Send me a link then. You should have given Lady Guy some booze. You could do shots. Do NyQuil off camera, not promote, problem solved.
Yes, and then if he needs to go to the emergency room, I'm not taking his ass.
I don't think 4 little cups of that is going to send me to the emergency room.
It's
I'm
not
a
gonna
grown-ass
do-
man
it's
in a
not gonna
tiny
do
shirt.
things.
There's no way that's going to hurt me.
You forget that you're missing a stomach organ.
Yes, but I gave it to society.
Uh-huh.
I love Future Past. I did too. Future Past and First Class were really good. It's sort of, and Future Past fixed what they messed up in X-Men 3. And the reason I think they messed up X-Men 3 so bad is because, what's his face? Cyclops, what's his name?
Masterson.
Damn, I can't think of his name anyway.
Yeah.
Because he was shooting Superman Returns and didn't want to come back as Cyclops. So what they do, they kill off Cyclops. And I'm like, oh my God, you failed. But with Future Past, they fixed all that. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but shame on you if you have. Tarfinger is going to make this guy like anime. I doubt it. Have you watched True Blood? She watched a little bit of True Blood.
No, we tried to watch it together and neither of us could get into it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
James Marsden.
James Marsden, there you go.
I couldn't get the next name out. I could have got the first one.
Medium. This is beyond a medium. This is a tiny, tiny shirt. But you know what? I'm wearing it for the entertainment value.
I'm smart.
All right, so I've done a little bit of rambling. Let's get back to the Amazing Spider-Man collection because I know you're all for it. Like, yeah, right, the guy won't show any Pokemon, but he'll be like showing Amazing Spider-Man at the asshole. They have assholes in England.
Did you use some of your British spread?
Scott, no, it's not Scott. James Marsden is what I was looking for. I've taken DayQuil shots and called.
It's called robo-tripping. That's what the kids that abuse it call it.
This guy would
Alish.
definitely know. Blast off. So we left off on issue number 500 in the Amazing Spider-Man line, and they started with Volume 1. They ended randomly, and then they started doing Volume 2 starting in issue 1. Well, once they hit 500, even though it's Volume 2, they continue to number it 500, 501 after that. I don't know why they just didn't continue with, issue 60. I don't know why they didn't. True Blood gets better. Well, there you go. I'm still, something about a Kaleido.
He's still waiting for a Kaleido Star fan. It's one of his anime things.
Yeah, that is a huge anime fan right there. If you want to talk anime, talk to FizzKid. I just read that X-Men Apocalypse got a score of 51. Well, the thing is, you take your own value from it. Like, don't even take my opinion on any movie that you see or thinking about seeing. Like, you have to develop your own opinion on whatever movie it is. Like I said, Civil War is amazing. I hated the ending. And the ending actually killed the whole movie for me. That could be completely different for everybody else that I've talked to. Everybody absolutely loved that movie except for me. I'm in a weird doghouse. So if you're thinking about skipping X-Men Apocalypse, I say don't. Just give it a chance. Take your own opinion for it. I think it's going to be really good, high action. I will bloody be you, dude. What?
And Sword Art Online is actually, season 1's on Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
So.
Warcraft looks awesome. I'm not a World of Warcraft fan, but it does look really cool.
What's the words at the bottom of the screen?
Closed caption? What are you talking about?
The anime that we're
Dubbed?
Dubbed. Thank you. Does it have subtitles?
Yeah, is it dubbed? Do I have to read it? Because if
No,
I
we
have to
don't like
read
to
it,
read.
I'm not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, we don't
That's
like
why
to
I didn't say Passion of the Christ. I'm not going to read a 3-hour movie. It's not going to happen.
Well, there are other reasons we don't see Passion
What
of
did
the Christ.
Fantastic Four get? Because, man, it was bad. I don't know. I didn't see Fantastic Four. That's a preference. You should go see it. Waste your money. I don't. I say don't.
You. She's gonna bloody beat you.
Bloody beat me. Oh, she's going to bloody beat me.
Yeah.
Are you British? Are you British?
It's dubbed. Yeah.
All right, so there is
It's animated, it's not
501, and I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a different take on the artists of, you know, like Spider-Man's like this silhouette in the windshield, and the cab driver's getting his lip pulled. I don't know, that's weird.
Okay.
Issue 502. You're silly. No, you're silly, you British lady. Spider-Man swinging with a child. And we're actually building up to my favorite thing that's ever happened in Spider-Man ever. We're building up to that, so I promise it's going to get good. We're going to talk about it. So there's 503, Chasing Dark Shadows. What I'm doing is I'm actually leaning back and I'm actually putting these in the Optimus Prime trailer. The key issues are actually going in the front of the trailer. These are all box. I enjoyed Civil War second time. I know, I've heard see it again, and I want to see it again, but I haven't had the time. So there is Chasing Shadows 2 with Loki on the front. Yeah, Loki, there's your tie-in to normalcy. Passion was a great movie. Well, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I won't watch it because I don't want to read. Like, comic books is different, but even now I don't even read comic books. I just buy them for the covers.
Generation of the ADD.
Yeah, I love these. The artwork of these covers right here. They're just awesome. So good. All right, so now we're coming up to what is some of my favorite stuff in Amazing Spider-Man ever, and you guys can buy the trades. I say buy the trades because it's a lot cheaper. But here we go. Book of Ezekiel right here. This is issue 506 right there. Book of Ezekiel. And we talked about Ezekiel on Friday. Ezekiel and Moreland are the people... Ezekiel was actually like an original Spider-Man. Like, not Spider-Man Peter Parker, but a Spider-Man. See how he's sticking to the window? And he's actually bringing up what is going to happen to Peter Parker eventually, like what happened to him. And Ezekiel is sort of like building him up and trying to set it up for this, and I'm not going to spoil it till we get to that. I'm a Simpy. I don't know what a Simpy is.
Where can Sword Art Online be seen in English?
Oh, there you go,
Not on
DMK.
Netflix, where?
507, kind of a bland cover, but I do like the spotlight. What you see here is a spotlight. Spider-Man actually wore this thing on his belt for the longest time, and at the end of Civil War, it's not a spoiler, it's an after the trailer. It shows Peter Parker in his bedroom, and Tony Stark gave him some tech, and it actually has the spider signal. This spider signal. So I haven't seen that in any of the Spider-Man movies yet, so I think they're going to actually incorporate that in Homecoming. I think it's hell yeah. Fizz Kid, what's your favorite anime? The problem with some Marvel movies is that they don't capture the full potential of the villains and are made to look weak. I totally, 100% agree with you. I really do. Especially with the new Amazing Spider-Man with, what's his face? I don't think... I think they... Except for the second one. The second one they rushed. Really. They wanted to cram in Green Goblin. They wanted to cram in Electro. The first one, I think... Because they had to tell the origin story on top of it. And you're right. You really are. They rushed the villains, and it does feel very rushed. And they don't get the potential they need to build up. It's kind of like, I really wish that I think everybody does, I wish that Heath Ledger hadn't have died because the third Batman installment was going to be more Joker. Can you imagine that Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, in the sequel? How much more powerful and amazing that would have been? I totally would agree. I saw the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon gave Spider-Man a motorcycle. He actually had a motorcycle and a dune buggy in the comic book series somewhere. There's Book of Ezekiel, Part 3. Awesome artwork.
Nancy wants to know about your experience with Far Harbor so far.
My experience with Far Harbor is kind of small. I absolutely love it. Anything Fallout, I'm a Fallout slut for, so it's awesome. I think it's really good. It's totally worth the money because you get more building materials as well as a new companion and a huge map to explore with brand new brand new things to fight.
Radioactive creatures.
Okay, so these next five comics are, again, some of the best part in Spider-Man ever. I think I'm going to have an anime live stream. Please do. I would love to stop in and check it out. Like, maybe you can beat the bloody anime into me.
I'm actually not against anime, and I've been told that it's not true anime, but one of the movies I grew up on is Unico. I love Unico. I quote it often. And I've actually watched it quite a few times. But,
yeah, I've watched Unico.
Yeah, I'm not against anime at all. I'd like to see the good stuff, but I don't want to have to read while I watch it.
So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 509. Amazing artwork on the front. It's just badass in general. But it's called Sins of the Past, and this is a 5-part series. And this particular cover starts it off, and then I'll tell you about what happens in this.
I'll have to look.
And I think you guys, like, if I'm going to project any particular thing to pick up for Spider-Man, Sins of the Past is amazing. It's one of the best ones in here. So right here, Sins of the Past Part 2. This book right here, 510. You see the 2 silhouette figures that are over his shoulder. Those are actually Gwen Stacy's children. Yes! When I talked about the death of Gwen Stacy being a permanent thing, it was. She has not ever returned in Spider-Man, at least in the comic form. She has never returned. But what they did was they went back, they did their research, and there was a point in the comics where Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy took a break from their relationship. She went to Paris. When she went to Paris, she actually got pregnant with somebody else, not sure who. I think they tried to tie it into Green Goblin or something, but they didn't do it. But she got pregnant, had 2 kids, and then came back. Didn't tell anybody about it. So these 2 kids actually come back to track down Spider-Man, because whoever it was raised him and told him, oh, this is the bad guy. You got to come back and take him down. So right there, that's why Sins of the Past is absolutely amazing.
Well, Phoenix,
and
the Unico,
that brings
actually,
up 511.
There's actually 2 different Unicos. The one I like, and it's UNICO. It's about a little unicorn. But
why not?
There's 2 of them. The first one is the one that I like. That's got Westwind and Katie and the little devil. But anyway, if you want to look it up, it's UNICO.
There you go. So there, he's actually pulling off the mask of one of the villains, and it looks just like Gwen Stacy. He's freaked out. Can't understand what's going on, and then eventually you learn. Who that father? Well, I'm not telling you. That's why you gotta read it. I'm not gonna spoil it. So there we go, right there. There's the 2 of them suited up, ready to kick Spider-Man's ass in Sins of the Past. And then Sins of the Past Part 5. This is what I was telling you about with the Green Goblin, but it's not. Don't listen to me. So it's one of the best series. It's only 5 comics long, but it's really, really good. Mind blown. I'm just telling you, like, Spider-Man at this point in the early 2000s was so good. It was so compelling and just awesome. And the artwork, the covers just look amazing. Let's talk more about this sexy stuff. Of course, he's getting back with Mary Jane, because you got to have Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Just looking awesome. Skin Deep. Now, Skin Deep was basically this friend of Peter Parker's, and I think they kind of turned him into like the Molten Man #2, but he was like a friend of Peter Parker's, and he asked for Pete's help or whatever, and Pete said no, and he went on with the experiment anyway, and this is what happened to him. And this part actually starts to set up a little bit for Civil War in the comics. So there is Skin Deep #3 of 4. Just a kind of a cool cover. I love the contrast with the pink and the Spider-Man flying up there. Love some Sailor Moon. I love to look at some Sailor Moon.
With the Sailor Moon, and it made me think the wrong thing.
Skin Deep #4, when they're trying to do some weird, like, art fancy stuff on the front.
Bye-bye, Phoenix.
And what actually happened in Skin Deep is that I'm just going to call him Molten Man because I can't think. I'm running away. Bye-bye. Well, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for stopping in. And please do the anime stream. If you do, let me know. Let me know either on Instagram. That's pretty much the only way to contact me because my PlayStation's weird. But let me know when you're doing it. J-Dub's got a little tag. Forgot how the older artwork was. There's a lot of older artwork. But in Skin Deep #4 of 4, the Molten Man, I can't remember what his actual name is, but I'm going to call him Molten Man, actually went to Peter Parker's house, him and Aunt May's house, and burned it to the ground. Burned his childhood home to the ground. I believe it was in the previous issue. So that sets up for this right here. The New Avengers. This is when Tony Stark actually brings Spider-Man into his home. So Peter Parker is actually brought into the Avengers so Aunt May and Mary Jane can actually live in the Avengers headquarters. So it means Spider-Man was a pothead, probably. So, just an amazing cover, and this is issue 520, just a badass cover. This is when he's just doing like Avenger-y stuff and just, you know, continuing on with everything. Not used to typing, I can tell. You can grow a hell of a beard, but that's about it. So 521, just badass artwork. I love these covers. What's going on, Mr. Shane O'Mac? Man, we're trying to keep it simple and, you know, low key tonight, man. I'm still technically sick, so we're doing more of the Amazing Spider-Man show. Good, please do. I'd love to pop in, and definitely if you're going to do the stream. 522. That's just cool, man. This actually looks a lot like the Spider-Man you saw in Civil War. Mark Rexington? No. Damn, I can't remember. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, you're talking about the Molten Man? I can't remember either. 523. More of this, I love this Spider-Man, and this is actually the kind of Spider-Man you saw in Civil War. I love this artwork. So Spider-Man right here with the Hydra symbol on the back. This is when he, you know, still doing some Avengers stuff. All right, now this is actually, other than Sins of the Past, this is my favorite thing in Spider-Man ever. Absolutely ever. I was watching the Spider-Man show from the 70s with Kim Field's mother on there. I'm not finished watching it. No, I've seen it. Actually, it's not bad. The web's weird. The net web. It's really weird. Let's see here. This is called The Other, and you can buy the trade to this, and it has all these incorporated in it. Highly recommend the trade. So number one, right off the bat, this is the sketchbook for The Other. I don't know if this has any value or whatever. I don't know why I even bought it. I just thought it was kind of cool because this is the sketchbook. And this is what Ezekiel was talking about in those previous issues, along with Moreland from back in Friday's show when we were talking about it. So the very first issue of The Other actually starts with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1. Again, Marvel trying to bank on some Spider-Man stuff, launching an additional comic book series. It worked for a little bit because I bought a few issues, mainly because I wanted to find out what happened in The Other. What round are we for the brawl, by the way? This is almost done. This, technically, right here, sends the winner to the final round for the finale of it. Now, the finale will not happen until next week sometime because we got the wild card round. But whoever goes through right here between a vagina, a dollar, and a thong actually goes directly to the finals to take on Pizza and a mystery opponent yet to be named. So anyway, make sure you guys vote if you have not. So, all right, this is The Other from Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1. Still got the price tag on it. That's cool. From back in the day. Thought I took all those off. All right, so there you go. So, Amazing Spider-Man, I'm sorry. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1. Marvel trying to cash in on it, launching this stuff called The Other. It is awesome. It is an amazing read, and you seriously need to read this. Vinny, I'm telling you, man, if you're a comic book collector, if you have not read this, you need to find The Other right now. Buy the trade. It is awesome. If you start buying the individual comic books for this, it's going to be really expensive because it's been out of print for a long time. So, Part 2 of The Other actually went to Marvel Knights Spider-Man, back when Marvel Knights was a thing. Keep those comic books, it'll be worth something. I'm not getting rid of any of my comic books. So this is Part 2 in The Other, and once I get done showing them, we'll talk about what happened into it without doing any spoilers, because I'm really highly recommending this. So this is the first time it actually hits Amazing Spider-Man with Part 3 of The Other. Check out that cover, just badass cover. Absolutely love it, and like I said, we'll talk about it in just a minute. I haven't heard of it. I'm telling you right now, you need to check it out. It is awesome. So it then continues. Part 4 goes back to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #2, and actually continues with The Other. And there's actually Black Panther on there. Have you played Uncharted 4? I have not. Uncharted 4 looks absolutely amazing. I don't have the time to devote, mainly because I'm a Fallout slut. No Flag! Wow, you've been here that long and you just noticed that? Very good, very good. So, issue number 5, issue number 5 of The Other continues in Marvel Knights Spider-Man. Check out Mary Jane and Peter Parker actually up there in a space station. That's interesting. All right, part 6 continues in Amazing Spider-Man of the Other. And on the front, there's Moreland once again. And as we talked about previously on Friday, of Moreland's impact on Peter Parker's life is he almost killed him. And with the process of him almost killing him, he defeats Moreland and he drags his almost lifeless body home, collapses in his room, and then Aunt May actually finds out that he is Spider-Man due to the fact of Moreland. So Moreland has returned in the Other. And if you notice at the bottom of the little tab, it says evolve or die. And I talked a little bit about with Ezekiel, what Ezekiel was talking about with it. Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s, popular only because of the memories. Well, that's honestly... Oh, from the meme? Oh, from the memes. Yeah, it is. The Spider-Man and his fantastic friends with Human Torch and... Can't remember the chick. Can't remember her name, I think. Come on, vagina! So there we go. This is number 7 out of 12. A Friend of the Neighborhood Spider-Man, number 3. And you can see that Peter Parker is not doing very well. Yes, I'm high. I notice things when I'm high. Yeah, but you've been here for a long time. It's not like I snuck the flag down while you weren't looking.
Yeah, you did. You totally did.
All right. This, if you haven't read it, we'll give a little bit away. So this is number 8, part 8, Marvel Knights Spider-Man, and you can see that there's kind of this weird cocoon going on. Gotta go, Super Chick. Have a wonderful evening and be nerdy. So there's this weird cocoon going on, and again, it says evolve or die.
List a Wits.
Les Wits, what's going on, my man? So that continues on with part 9 in the Amazing Spider-Man number 2. Oh, you know, I gotta find. I got more of these somewhere. All right, I'll show them to you as I find them. So this is the variant edition of 527 Amazing Spider-Man, and don't take this cover for what it is. It shows $20.99 on the front, but it's not. I'll find the Firestar. Thank you. No, Starfire. But anyway, so it shows $29 on the front, but it's just a variant cover. I do have the original cover somewhere in that box. So it's moving on to part 9. Oh, this is the actual cover. Part 9, 227. You can see that he's kind of hatched out of a pod. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And, yeah. All right, so then Friendly Neighborhood number 4 actually is part 10. And you can see that they're actually enjoying the sunset there. So something crazy actually happened. You might be right, heroes. It might be backwards. I think it's Starfire. But anyway. And then number 11 in Marvel Knights. You can see he's standing strong with it. And then the last one is still in the box. Crazy. It actually ends part 12 with the Amazing Spider-Man number 528 of the Other, with Spider-Man standing strong in the Other.
Big Daddy Juggalo.
Big Daddy Juggalo, what's going on, my man? But I highly recommend the Other from Amazing Spider-Man. It'll actually, buying the trade will actually tie all those covers together, because if you try to buy them individually, it's going to get expensive. It really will. So if you guys are going to buy it, then I would say tune away, because I'm going to talk about it, unless you want some spoilers. So what happens in the Other is Moreland comes back and basically, essentially, kills Peter Parker this time. He actually succeeds in what happens and actually kills Peter Parker. But his body from being bit by the spider is actually, like, when he dies, he then evolves, and that's what that cocoon happens to. He actually evolves to the next generation of the Spider-Man, which is what Ezekiel was talking about. And he actually grows these, like, arachnid spikes that come out of his wrist. Kind of like Tobey Maguire actually had webs that came out. He actually has these spikes that come out. So then from that point of hatching out of the cocoon, becoming a new person and a new sort of Spider-Man, he actually then finally defeats Moreland, and is absolutely an epic tale throughout all 12 parts. It is awesome. I cannot wait for the Darth Vader lunchbox. Oh, look at that, already playing. I'm not playing with my PS4 tonight. I'm going straight to play Street Fighter. Well, do it please, man, and I hope you stream it. All right, so the last one that we showed was 528, right there. And then this is also one of the variant covers of 528 with Spider-Pig on the front. Just absolutely ridiculous. So 528 ends with the Other. Now, previously, prior to the Other, Peter Parker, Aunt May's house burned down. It burned down, so they went and lived with the Avengers. That sets up for this. Civil War. Right there. Amazing Spider-Man number 529. Check out the Iron Spider-Man suit. So Tony Stark, basically, Spider-Man is living with Tony Stark, and then Civil War starts. He gets him the suit. This is a suit designed by Tony Stark. It is absolutely amazing. It is badass in general. And this is just one of those covers, and this is one of those stories that make this comic book so freaking valuable. And one of those just, I mean, it is a key issue. The first issue of Amazing Spider-Man in Civil War, awesome. I'm sorry, it's Road to Civil War, but you guys know what I'm talking about. In the Spider-Man armor, the Iron Spider. That builds up to him starting learning how to use the suit properly. There he is hanging out with Tony Stark and Captain America, Road to Civil War, in his Iron Spidey suit. And then, so that was 531. In 532, there it is. Amazing Spider-Man Civil War. And this is when the actual, what the damn movie was supposed to be sort of based around is what happens in this series. I do have Civil War as well, but what happens to Peter Parker is actually key to all of the Marvel Universe. Peter Parker is what the entire thing spins around. Not from this issue, from this issue. From 533. This issue right here. This is when Tony Stark tells Peter Parker that he has to take the mask off on public television. Now, Peter Parker's been one of those superheroes throughout all his years that has never been able to, that has never revealed his identity. Tony Stark, I'm Iron Man, bitches. You know, Captain America, I'm Steve Rogers. Everybody pretty much has come out. Very few people keep the identity secret. He keeps his identity secret so he can keep Aunt May, Mary Jane, and a few people close to him safe. Tony Stark says, because of the Mutant Registration Act, you have to take this off. I've given you the suit. I've given you a place to stay. You are my friend. You have to do this. This is where he takes the mask off. Oh yeah, I would have too, Vinny. I would have flipped out if that would have happened. So that's where he takes the mask off, and then in 534 you have him actually fighting Captain America. Yeah. So when you talk about things that happened in the movie that didn't happen in the comics, this actually happened in the comics and the movie. Are you still buying Spider-Man comic books? Technically, I am, yes. So from 534 to 535, this is when Peter Parker is actually torn. There he is fighting Iron Man, because of what happens is people find out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and it is exactly like he thought it was. It's detrimental to him and his family. Granted, Aunt May and Mary Jane are kind of safe at the Avengers headquarters, but due to Civil War and all the Avengers and all the heroes fighting each other, they have to go somewhere else. So people like the Kingpin and a few others start attacking Peter Parker where his heart is, with Mary Jane and with Aunt May. And then in 536, you can see him being torn from both sides because Spider-Man doesn't know what to do. And the whole thing hinges pretty much on Spider-Man, and he's being torn from both sides. Into 537, where he actually basically tells Tony Stark that's over, and there he is on the side with the Punisher and Captain America, which is badass to think about in general. They should do full covers for Civil War, not half covers. Well, I kind of agree, but I really like this because they don't do this a lot, and this actually looks really cool, and it gives you the Civil War silhouette along with the look of the comic book cover. So there's 538, and this is when everything's just going so bad for Peter Parker, like he thought it would. So that's 538, and I believe it's in 538 is when Aunt May actually gets shot. So Kingpin is actually in prison at this point, and because he finds out who it is, he sends an assassin to go and track down, I can't remember the assassin, but he sends the assassin to track down Peter Parker's family. And so he's aiming at Mary Jane. Mary Jane pushes... he's aiming at Aunt May, and Aunt May kind of like gets in the way of Mary Jane or whatever, and he shoots Aunt May. And so because of that, Civil War's still technically going on in its own right. Kind of bummed that Iron Spidey suit didn't make it. It might make it eventually. What a cool story. I need to read those. You really do. Do the covers, everything, mask bottom reveals the top. So yeah, there you go. So because that happens, because Aunt May gets shot, Peter Parker actually loses a part of him. And you actually feel it through reading all of Civil War, the stuff that happened to him prior with, the other and all that. to where he actually has to don the black suit. And this is when it gets really, really dark. And it started the Back in Black series. And like I said, in this current point of Amazing Spider-Man comics, this is when it was so good. It was so awesome. And I was reading it. I couldn't wait for the next month. It was monthly. It was awesome and so good. So he dons this suit. And in one of these, and I can't remember exactly which one. It's coming up. So that's 539. And this is 540. He's still in the suit, and you see him riding the back of the ambulance. You can guess who's in it already. 541, this is when he's doing more investigation. He's closing in on who actually shot Aunt May. And then, in 542, he actually confronts the Kingpin. And this is the one right here. This is the issue where he actually breaks into prison. And I'm not going to tell you, but I mean, it's one of those things where he loses a part of himself because Aunt May is, laying in a hospital bed dying, and it's because of the Kingpin, because he wanted to get a part of him, and he's actually beating Kingpin to death in this comic book issue. It is ridiculous, and it is awesome. So in 543, you have just one of those. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but in 543, there you go. And then it's swapped because they're trying to push, because Marvel is like, hey man, money, let's do it. So then they make you swap back to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 21, which if you remember, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man started the other. So now, in order to finish out the part of the series of what you're trying to read in Amazing Spider-Man, you got to go to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So I don't know whatever happened in that one. I can't remember. It was part of the main story in Amazing. Let me readjust these. Here we go. Yeah, I know. Trying to get to, this one right here. Yeah, all right. I got 5 more to do, and then we're going to wrap it up. So if you guys have not voted, make sure you vote. We're going to wrap it up very soon. So more the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, so you can learn about what happened in it. Just a cool cover in general. I love him in the black suit. All right, so Amazing Spider-Man number 544 right here. There you go. This is what's starting up the reset. And it said, what would you do if you only had one more day? You see Mary Jane, you see Aunt May, and you see, I guess that's Peter Parker at the bottom. I can't remember. But it's one more day, 1 of 4. So there it is. Still $3.99. So it's a $4 comic book, and that was a while ago. Now comic books are $5. So it continued in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 24, because why not? And there you go. You can see Doctor Strange doing his crazy stuff. Aunt May's hanging in the balance. I'm telling you, it's bad stuff. Kingpin has always been one of the best reads for me. Love everything about it. Zoltaro's Death Arrows, the Clone Spotty. Yeah, I agree with you, Trenzark. I really do. So there you go. Part 2 in one more day. The Sensational Spider-Man, which is part 3. Just kind of a blank cover, but when you see the Amazing Spider-Man cover right there, One More Day part 4, it actually makes a lot of sense. So what this is in part 4 of Amazing Spider-Man, and this is 545. This is One More Day part 4. That is Mephisto on the front. Mephisto is basically Satan in the Marvel universe, or at least in Spider-Man's universe. So that Mephisto is basically Satan, so it's the devil. And what he does for Peter Parker is he basically gives him the option. He says, he gives him the chance. So at this point, Peter Parker has already evolved into this other spider. He has lost some of the people that he has loved in his life. He has been unmasked to the world. And Mephisto gives him the opportunity to reset. Yeah, that's his reset. And this is why I'm going to end it tonight. Damn, that's been a while. So he gives him the opportunity to reset his life. He says, basically, if you do this, you get Aunt May back. But Mary Jane does not know who you are. She doesn't. She's not in your life. So Mary Jane is his wife, and as in previous issues we discussed, he struggled to keep the Spider-Man life and Mary Jane happy. It's been very difficult for him. But in the end, he actually ended up on top, but he lost Aunt May. So Mephisto gives him the opportunity. He says, you can have the reset, or you can live with how it is. So Peter Parker takes the reset in this issue right here, number 546. Amazing Spider-Man, Brand New Day. So With the Volume 1 to Volume 2, this technically reset everything. So everything that happened pretty much in Volume 1 starts over right here. And I actually think it's kind of cool. So basically what it is Peter Parker is back in the mask. Nobody knows who he is. He doesn't know who Mary Jane doesn't know who he is. And he doesn't quite know who she is. He forgot all about it. He's still with Aunt May. And Civil War never really happened. So everything's all hunky-dory and kind of, you know, cool for Spider-Man, except he doesn't know who Mary Jane is. So that's where we're going to end it. That's where we're going to end this particular comic book talk for this evening.
Yeah, Tarfinger said Mephisto. Remember, he picked him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did pick Mephisto way back in the day. But yeah, then that's one of the things. That's why I absolutely love Spider-Man. I mean, at least at that point. I don't know if the comic book is still great. I don't know. There'll actually be a point in this section coming up very soon where I stopped buying it, and we'll talk about why, and try to put things back together so I can actually get the complete collection. But anyway, so that is it. It's time to wrap up the Ultra Random Brawl. I'll give you one more minute at 44, so if you haven't voted, get those last little bit of votes in for the Vagina, Dollar, or Thong. One of them's going to be moving on, and good, there's no tie. I can honestly tell you I've only picked up half a dozen comics from today. I'm still reading comics 2007. Well, that's my plan. My overall plan is to get the Amazing Spider-Man that I've missed for a certain reason, and then go back and read them and catch up on it. That's what I want, but I don't want to start reading it and hit an issue that I can't find. I'm going to be stuck. It would piss me off and actually set me back for a while. I never forget Mary Jane. Of course you won't. Tarfinger, thank you very much, man. Like I said, the Spider-Man is the heart and soul of my collection. That's why I'm taking a few days to show it. All right, it's time to wrap it up. Find out who's going to be moving on. Who can take on Pizza in the finals? Of course, Vagina does it. 12 to 9 to 5. I like how it just went down. This is... Oh, hang on. No, there we go. Perfect. So Vagina moves to the finals. So Vagina and Pizza. Sorry about Dollar. Sorry about Thong. Nothing I can do about it. Not my fault. Blame these guys over here. So, I know what you're thinking. Pizza's going to take on Vagina. No, not yet. So, I know you guys are going to be excited, all 29 of you that hung out long enough because my stuff's broken tonight. But I will be here on Wednesday. I know we said we're canceling the Wednesday show, but I will be here on Wednesday. Somebody should be able to tell me why I'm going to be here on Wednesday. But I'm going to be here on Wednesday, and on Wednesday, we're going to start the wild card round for the Ultra Random Brawl. I think it's got two versions. It's got one side, and then one at the bottom, and then they verse to go up. Yeah, it is.
I remember something.
It is. Can't shop's closing now, everyone. Uh-oh, yep, did that Death of Wolverine because some... Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. It's same deal. Same deal. They're just trying to make money out of it. But yeah, so Vagina and Pizza, but the wild card round. So there actually is 8 participants in the wild card round in the first 2 rounds with the tag team and the original round. If you had the highest number of votes but still did not win and everybody in it only lost by 1, you move to the wild card round, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday. So Wednesday you're actually going to determine who goes on to the finals of the wild card round, and then on Friday we're going to just do the wild card round only, the whole entire vote, and then on it'll be Monday. Monday will be the finals. Yeah. 1 week from tonight. 1 week from the night. Yeah, math works really good. So 1 week from the night, Pizza Vagina will take on a wild card round to determine who will win the Ultra Random Brawl. And of course, one of those participants will win something from my collection. We'll find out who. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, but we have reached the end of this particular broadcast. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I really did. I like talking comics. And I mean, it's pretty much, it's a part of me doing all the comic book reading and, trying to remember what these stories are about. It's been really fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys on Wednesday for the first Wednesday show in 2 weeks. Even though I said I wasn't going to. But I got to be here on Wednesday. You have to be here official Nerd Day. You got to do it. Peace out, Clancy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jizzy. This is The Nerdy Effect. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something interesting today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you Wednesday.
La 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 la.
It's a nerdy Trace point, oh, trace point,
It's a nerdy effect.
Trace point, oh, trace point, oh.
3.0.
It's the nerdy effect.
Nerdy effect.
Trace point, no, not the dose, not the dose.
3.0.
This broadcast is brought to you by the Platinum King.
And deviled eggs.